On a recent plane trip, I had my little computer, my little display computer that I use to watch videos, etc. And I used this nice little wooden thing that I created years ago. It's just, I call it the Aiko stand, and I just put it down on the tray and I pull out this little kickstand. There we go. And I could put my phone in it, or I could put in a tablet just like that. So I made this years ago, and it's all good, but it's kind of clunky. And I was thinking I'd like to make a more streamlined one. I'd like to make one that I just print out, much smaller, much more compact, and folds up even nicer. So that's what I aimed to do. So I started with a nice little CAD model, and then I made an assembly, and then I printed it out, and I'll show you what it looks like. So the modeling of my little bracket was done in a way that I thought was pretty clever, and that was I started with the thing that I wanted to fixture, this little Lenovo pad. I really like this thing. And so I started with a model of that. Here it is. It's just a simple extrude with some blends and some blends. There we go. Then on that, superimposed on that edge, I made a sketch. And this sketch obviously is a sketch that represents the little holdy things, the little hands that the tablet sits in. I did an extrude. There's one out there. And then I did a mirror of that same extrude. So I know that there's going to be two parts to this thing. Then I did another extrude to make it look like that, because I knew that I wanted this thing to fold in just this really cool way. And then I did an extrude for a pivot. And then I did an extrude for the other arm. So I've got a left arm and a right arm, or a left leg and a right leg. And what I'm really doing is I'm building up the assembly in this one part file. And I'm doing subtracts, like I subtracted this little cylinder from this leg, so it has that rotational boss in it. And I did some other things. This offset region was to make a little bit of clearance in between there. I united that little post. I united this arm to this like little handy thing. And I replaced face to get rid of that little jog. So I'm using the XZ plane as like the tabletop, or in this case, you know, I'm designing this for when I go on plane rides. Now I'm starting the pivot block. So I started the pivot block with a sketch, and I just extruded it an appropriate thickness. And next hold on here. Okay, I moved my model, so I had to put my menus back. Here we go. And let's do this. Doink. Okay, so everything comes back. Okay, so you can see my extrude had that little sketch in there, like that. Okay. I had to make several adjustments as I modeled this. So there's that. I did another extrude that was an extrude across this edge. So when I extruded this, I had a sketch that had the actual hole in it, and I extruded it from this face to this face. So you could see I extruded until extended. That's nice. So if I decide to widen this thing out, it goes with it. And then I made a sketch of the kickstand, and I knew the kickstand would be pivoting, so I ensured that this little length right here would be the same as that length right there, because I want it to all fold together. And then I extruded a little bit of kickstand, and I mirrored it like so. I ensured that there was a little bit of clearance, as you can see, in between there, and then I extruded a shape in between. So I'm doing a lot of things here. I was adjusting radial dimensions because I want this radial dimension to be smaller on this side. than this one. It's a mirrored part, but I wanted to change the dimension of this because this is what I'm going to drill and tap, or tap. The hole is going to be drilled by the actual 3D printing process. And other extrudes. Now I'm extruding, let's see, what was this extrude here? Okay, so I'm extruding a boss center through there, and other extrudes that give me the different interfaces that I want, because there's a little landing. So I extrude this little cut. This cut is just a little bit lower than this face, so when I put a screw in there, there'll be a little bit of clearance, and I'm doing the clearances with these little offsets. So that is a lot faster than going to the original definition of the part and trying to do it that way. And doing other sketches to change the shape. I want this left leg to rotate and fit inside that right leg, so that's why there's a little bit of a offset there. I'm now putting in some artifacts that will ensure that when I open this thing, it stops at an appropriate angle. So it's very, very nice that I'm doing all these sketches and all these little things in the same part file, because it would be hard if I was doing it with the assemblies and components, because I have to keep going back and forth and taking measurements and doing wave geometry links and all this to get the geometry that I need. So I'm creating all of these components in one part file. Here's an extrude that is meant to stop the kickstand from going further than it has to. And I want one of those on both sides, and then I unite the whole thing together. So that's what's making this thing that I'll call a pivot block. Then there's a portion of this little pivot block that now is going to swing into the kickstand, and I want that to swing through. I want this kickstand to be able to come down and lie flat against the pivot block. So as you can see, there's this little stopper, and this stopper has to go through. So what I'm doing is I'm extruding these two little faces, because it tracks basically how this little stopper is going to go through here. And then I do a replace face, and I extrude a little cutout here, and then I do a replace face and a replace face. So now with these replace faces, I know that this little piece of geometry will be able to swing through the kickstand. I do a little offset face to give it a little bit of clearance. So I really like the fact that I can design something and then manage the clearance with the offset region. And then I give it some nice little blending to make it happy and friendly. Then I want to make sure that when this is going to be the left leg, if you will, when it swings out, there's a stop. It swings out and stops at a certain position. So I've got a sketch that represents two pieces. There's going to be a little protrusion on this leg and a little protrusion on that leg. So when the legs open up, they can only open up so far. And then I extrude this little piece of that same sketch. So there's one sketch that manages both things. And then I extrude this piece. So this piece is connected to that leg, and this piece is connected to that leg, so that they pivot. When they pivot, they stop together. And then I finish up with some offset regions. So now that I have the pieces, and I'm sure that these pieces are going to work together because I basically built them together in one part file, now it's time to export them to their own files so I can do a proper assembly. And in order to do that, I go to Assemblies, and then I go to the product interface. Here we go, product interface. Now, as you can see, I've already made the interfaces. So there's a left leg, here that is. There's the right leg. There's the back leg. And there's the pivot block. I even made one out of the tablet computer. So now these are all interfaces in this big file that I call the bracket. Okay? So then the next challenge is to get those interfaces into their individual components. So I've done that. What I do is I say File New, and let's say I want to make something like the left leg. So I type in left leg. I'll call it left leg too because I already have a left leg. And I say OK. And then I simply do Home, More, Wave Interface Linker. I go to that bracket file where all my interfaces are. This one. There's all the interfaces, and I bring in the left leg solid. So there we go. That's what the left leg really looks like, with its little protrusion and all of that, and the clearances, etc. And then I do that for each part. And then when I do that, I can assemble them all into a nice assembly. So here's my assembly. And in the assembly, I can do little changes, or I should say, in the individual parts, I can do little changes. For example, this right leg has a smoother transition from this little stoppy thing to the arc here, whereas the interface, the actual interface that I created in the bracket, it's a little kludgy. You see it's got this little thing here and it's got that. So I exported this piece as the right leg, but when I got into the right leg file, I did something smoother and made it nicer. So these are the kinds of changes that you can make once you've got the interfaces into their own little components. So there's the actual finished assembly. Of course, I've got to put some blends on here. And then what I did was I started exporting all the little pieces to a step file so that I could 3D print them. When I placed all the components on the printing plate, I did so because there were certain cylindrical features that I really wanted to be printed well. So as you can see, the cylindrical feature inside the pivot block and the cylindrical feature inside the left leg and right leg, I really want those to fit well. So that's why I'm printing them this way. The pivoting of the kickstand is oriented in this way because I want these holes to be very accurate. And unfortunately, the holes for the pivot block, I want this hole to be very accurate. I'd love this hole to be pretty accurate too, but it's just a clearance hole, so I think that's going to be great. So then I slice the plates. I'm doing everything all at once, and I'm using supports that are called trees. I find these supports very easy to break off. I really like the trees as opposed to the other type of supports that are sliced. And so good, there's that. I'm using the PLA that I have in my right nozzle. I've got a bunch of others. Let the printing begin. So I just hit print plate and I send it. And there it goes. Okay. And now you can hear the printer going. It says here it's going to take 2 hours and 35 minutes to do its thing. And in 2 hours and 35 minutes, I'll pull it all apart. I'll sand it a little bit and put the screws in, and I think I'll have a very nice stand. Okay, so here's the finished product, and of course I'm going to give it a little twisty twist, take them off of there, and they've got the supports on them. Put this back, and then what I do is I go at it with this thing, and I start cutting off the little supports like this, just taking this all away like that, and you know, all the different pieces, and then I'll be putting them together. Okay, that's all. And here's the finished product. I've got two of them now. It folds up nicely just the way we had planned it on the CAD. There it is folded. Unfolded, it looks just like this. And as you can see, it works perfectly. So it'll be really good for plane rides. It's something that's not clunky. I'll publish the design on my website. Or if you want it, you could drop me a line at info@designviz.com. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.